Welcome to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with your host, life coach Jeff Relaford. This podcast is designed for those who wish to change their inner self in order to maximize outward potential. So come redirect, regroup, and refocus with your number one life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Hello, and welcome everybody again to another episode of What is the People, the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with me, your boy, life coach, Jeff Relaford. And yes, people, hey, I just want to thank y'all again and always thank you all for tuning in. As I say every week, thank you for tuning in because we come in with another great episode today. And you know what? I really want to focus on success today. And I'll tell you why I want to focus on success. I know I've come on here and I've given some keys to help people be successful, but I want to talk about your mental health as far as your success is concerned. And I believe that's a bigger topic to even talk about because right there, that's something that we don't stress enough on. You know, we always look at we always look at big time celebrities. We always look at athletes. We always look at everybody who is successful in our lives, right? Who we deem to be successful, people who are ahead of you, right? And a lot of times you don't know what it takes to get to that point. And I'm going to have a few examples to use today, or a couple, 3 or 4, or however many I'm going to use. But I'm going to have some examples for you all today. So, excuse me. What we're going to do is we're just going to dive right into it, y'all. So, success, man. First, I feel that when we start talking about success, you want to make sure you have a clear-cut path to that. And what I mean by clear-cut path is that a path that you have decided, that you, the person have chosen. Okay. You and only you, nobody else. That's number one to finding and achieving a good status on your mental health. You have to make sure that you're comfortable with all the decisions that you're making. And this is why I always tell people, when you look at success rates of people, it has to do with the consistency. It has to do with how they keep going. And big shout out to my boy, Dwayne of Ace Motorcycle. I know you see all my stuff, but Ace Motorcycle brand, yo. He's one of the big reasons why I want to talk about success. And Adriana Godinez, my people, my family, man, she has a hair salon business. My boy, Dwayne has Ace Motorcycle brand, and we were at a motorcycle rally just yesterday. I was out there with my cousin and him, yo. It was a great thing. It was different. Remember, like I said, you need community. You got to learn how to market and network with people that are outside of your community. So I've been doing that a lot lately. And shout out to my boys at Shop Talk 7-2 on the South Side Chicago who do their podcast. We're talking about Dennis and Monix. Dennis and Monix, man. Look, man, just some great people. But I want to let you know, always know what it is that you want to do. That's what's going to help you be successful. You have to make sure that it's a clear-cut path that only you have defined for yourself. Nobody else is defined. And these people that I named off and mentioned, I feel that they have clear-cut paths that they have defined, and nobody's saying along the way that things aren't going to get tough, because these things aren't always easy, but you want to make sure that you at least have some road to go down. So let's talk about this a little bit more in depth. So like I said, I was at a motorcycle rally yesterday, right? I met my boy Dwayne with Ace Motorcycle brand. Shout out to him. And he was on a podcast shooting it with my cousin. And when he was doing it, they talked about how to be successful a little bit. One of the things he mentioned is manifestation, okay? Which will lead to my second point, because and we're going to move quick here. I might have more than 3 points. I might have more than other things to rest on, but y'all just follow. It'll all flow. So this second point of manifestation has to do with what is clear-cut and defined in your life. It has to. Because remember, this is going to help you maintain your mental health and your mental stability while you're on your road to success. Okay? 1, the path has to be clearly defined by you. And 2, you have to focus on the manifestation of that. Now, I do want to say this and make this point also. When you are trying to manifest your goals, your dreams, your wishes, whatever it is that's clearly defined, right? You have to make sure that you're okay with some of that change, yo. Listen, I'm telling you, everything that I've embarked on with my life coaching hasn't been perfect, but things have changed along the time since I started in 2019 up until now. Now I know where I'm going. I know where I want to go. I know what I want to focus on. You know what I mean? So when people ask what I do, I tell them this: I'm simply a life coach that helps you get over the hump and challenges of everyday life so that you can have more peace, joy, and happiness in your life. So if you are lacking the peace, joy, and happiness, I am the guy that you were supposed to come to. That is how clear cut and define any message that you have or that you're trying to portray within your success rate of your business or just inner self, workings. That's what you need to have defined. That's what you need to have mapped out in terms of you being successful. Okay. And back to Dwayne, man, when he was sitting up here talking about success, we brought up that thing of manifestation. And when he brought it up, he was saying to just stick with it. And I have to tell you, I agree. The best way to manifest anything that it is that you want in this world is that you must be consistent. Okay? You must be consistent. Remember, clear-cut path. Make sure it's something that you mapped out, you defined on your own. And in order to achieve that manifestation, you have to be consistent. Because, like I always say, people, consistency is one of the things that's hard for people to do. You just have to be on it and make sure that you're in the game with it. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that you're in the game with it. So that these are some things, though, that we lack as people sometimes. These are the things that we lack as people. And I'm guilty of it as well. People. You know, everything's not going to be perfect. Everything's not going to be unicorns, roses, and fairies all the time, right? So, like I always tell y'all all the time, you have to make sure that you're adaptable in everything that you want to do as well. You know, a lot of times we don't have time for playtime. There's time to play. There are times to play, but we don't have a lot of time for playtime. So while you are on that clear-cut journey, that path that you mark for yourself, that journey and that path that you mark for yourself, be concise, be persistent. Things will always come to knock you off your totem. I'm trying to tell you, things are always going to come to knock you off the path or make you sway into a different direction. Listen, this is some of the best advice that I've gotten from people, and people always tell me this all the time. Whatever people tell you, don't allow that to be your end result. Don't ever allow other people's perception to be your own reality. Now, you can make your own perception your own reality, right? But never allow anybody else's perception to become your own reality. I'm telling you, man, I know I'm moving kind of fast. I know I done jumped around and I said some things, but I feel that these things are just so strong because mental health is such a big thing and we don't even talk about it. And another thing with Dwayne of Ace Motorcycle Brand is this. He told me he has a life coach. He says this life coach hears about his problems and his issues every week, people, every week. So see, and this is why I'm trying to bring awareness to stuff like this, because a lot of times we think we need therapy all the time. Yes, and I'm going to say this too. I'm not knocking therapy because therapy is a great tool. If you can ever talk to a therapist, if you can get out there and have somebody to just clear your head with, that is a great tool. But on the other side to it, you can also have a life coach also. And all a life coach is going to do is just guide you down the right path by asking you a series of questions that you define on your own. That's all I do, people. I ask people questions and they clearly define it. And then we map out the plan and we stick on the goal. That's what we do. That's what I do. To me, it's that simple, but everybody can't do what I do, you know, but he has a life coach every week that he answers to. So why is it, everybody, that it's hard for all of you to look at your mental health? Is it because we might admit some things that we're ashamed to admit to ourselves? Could that be it? Because I strongly believe that there's always a reason as to why you don't want to accept those tough things about yourself that may come about. There's always a reason why you don't want to accept those tough things about you that come about, because you finally have to go ahead, knock on the door of what reality is and open it up, and you're going to be faced right with it. Faced right with it. That's what happens. That's what happens when you open up a door, right? If a door is shut, even if you know what's behind that door, a lot of times, sometimes you don't know what's behind that door. Guess what? It could be a whole spider behind that door. You'll never know. It could be something that's on the other side that could completely throw you off your game, and you'll never know. That's why it's key that you never get comfortable as well. It's very key that you don't get comfortable. Don't get complacent, people, because I'm telling you, comfortability and complacency, it doesn't open up a lot of room for growth at all. Just does not open up a lot of room for growth. Because I'm telling you, isn't that the whole point of why we want to accept things about ourselves? Isn't that the whole point and the reason as to why we want to get better? Because we want to grow as successful business owners, entrepreneurs, right? And most of all, human beings. Now, I get it. I know there are some people out there who just don't want to grow. They accept life for what it is, and that's what they bog it down and define it to, and then that's it. Well, guess what? I ain't talking to you. No. I ain't talking to you. But if you are the type of one that is listening to this podcast right now and you don't have a desire to change, but now you do based off the things that I said, power to you, But those people that are so hell-bent on not wanting to change, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about the people who are actually, they're scared. The people that are actually scared to look at themselves, but finally make a decision one day and say, you know what? I have to accept the good, the bad, and the ugly. That trifecta of good, bad, and ugly about myself in order to be successful with inner growth and inner change. Because that's what it takes. That is exactly what it takes. Because if you're not willing to do so, you're going to have a rough time trying to climb up that ladder of what it is or what you deem to be what it means. Oh my jeez, I can't get my words right. Sorry, yeah, I hear some stuff. But the thing is just what you deem as successful. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to be real hard to climb that ladder of what you deem as what it is to be successful. Like I said, people earlier, this is why you have to have a clear-cut path, right? Clear-cut path that only you decide, nobody else, and only you decide. And you need that consistency in order to stay on the path, right? You need the consistency. Don't waver your decision just because you see things that you don't like happening around you. Let me explain this to you, people. It's going to happen. Whatever niche you get into, niche, whatever, however people say it, whatever niche you get into, whatever decision you make, you have to remember there's always an outcome for every decision that you make, whether positive or negative. Now, even though you can't control the positive or negative situation, that comes from the decision that you made. Always remember, you can control how you react to it. You can always control how you react to it, people. And I can't stress that enough. I was watching a reel or something where the woman, she was like, I'm tired of people telling me to control my emotions. Well, you got to do that every day. Prime example, we all go to work. You go to a boss, right? Everybody goes to work. Everybody has a boss that they have to answer to. So guess what? With this boss that you have to answer to, you control your emotions so you can keep your job, right? I want y'all to put this into perspective. You control your emotions so you can keep your job because that boss said something that wasn't to your liking, right? So instead of getting angry, mad, and cussing him or her out, you bite your tongue and you say, okay. That is what I mean by controlling your emotions. And you have to learn how to do that in order to keep your mental health, your peace, and your stability when it comes to you being successful. A lot of times you just have to say, okay. A lot of times you just have to accept those outcomes that you cannot change. A lot of times, with accepting those outcomes that you can't change, you have to ask yourself the next question: how am I going to be adaptable to the situation at hand? Am I going to succumb to it, or am I going to rise above it? Because let me tell you this, people who succumb to their own demons, I'll say that, their own demons, their trials, their tribulations, when they succumb to it, it's very hard for them to see a light at the end of the tunnel. But in order to see the light of the tunnel, and I'm gonna say this, I know people can get in the way. Everybody's situation is different. I know people can get in the way of the light at the end of the tunnel. But do you see it? Even though something can be clouding your judgment, can you still see it? You have to ask yourself that question. Like, for instance, now I'm going to go ahead and move on to Adriana Godinez. She has a hair salon right up here off of Kennedy Avenue in Hammond, Indiana. Right off Kennedy Avenue. You know what Plaza Lanes is? Plaza Lanes is literally right there off the highway, and right across the street, I believe that street is Duluth Avenue, Duluth. Yeah, right across Duluth. Her salon is literally right on the other side at the end of the plaza. Boom. I do believe it's AG Hair Studio. I believe it's AG Hair Studio. Girl, I'm sorry if I butchered it. If you're watching, I'm sorry. But I'm trying to help you out too. Trying to promote you a little bit. But yes, well, Adi, we were talking to her today. I stopped by her salon because surprisingly, that's my family, but I haven't seen the salon. I'd heard her talk about it a lot, but I hadn't been to her new spot since she had moved. And we were just talking about stepping stones. Stepping stones. It's not quite what she wants, but she's adaptable in the space that she's in to make it work. Now, I don't have time to get into all the details of that, but that's just through the conversation we're having. You know, people like this are always looking to excel, always looking to add more, always looking to do more things to make their process or situation better. And that's what she's doing. She's not complaining about it. She's not complaining about the space or how she could have more space or all the stuff she would want to do and what she would want to add. No, what she's doing is she's gradually adding to the space that she's in, because she used to have a small spot kind of deeper in the Highland. And when she had that spot, I remember, I was going there getting my fades, getting my haircut before I just started shaving my head a little bit more. And in this spot, she still had her chair. She had a mirror and everything. She had all the supplies and everything, but it was real close quarters, real close quarters. Now, instead of taking care of one person, she's got another person that works with her. They take care of two people. You know what I mean? And she's also got a nail tech. So, ladies, if you want to get your nails done too, go over there to that studio. Go over there to her hair salon to go ahead and to get your nails and your hair done, because she can service you in both places. Because I know, ladies, when y'all get your nails done, y'all want to get the hair done too. If y'all get the hair done, y'all want to get the nails done, if it's not already done, vice versa. So, yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that versatility. We talked about wanting to have more. And what do you do when you just don't see it at that point? She's working towards something. She's building more. Oh, sidebar, she also wants to do a hair school as well. She wants to do a hair school as well. So all these things are things that you must work towards. Everything just does not come easy. But if you keep the clear cut path that you and only you have defined, you at least have a shot of getting there. You at least have a shot. And to put it in perspective about that shot, what does Steph Curry shoot? Steph Curry shoots 40-something% from the three-point line. Something like that. But 40% is high in basketball. But ain't nobody talking about the 60% of the shots that he missed. You feel me? Because that 40% puts enough points on the board for his team in games to be successful. See, that's what I mean, yo. It takes a lot of preparation for him to just shoot 40%. The other 60% are the misses. The other 60% is the practice. The other 60% is the time that's going to take to be great. So how many of y'all are willing to take 40% and to put in 60% work. I just want to know it. How many of y'all are willing to take 40% of the work that you put in? Now, remember, internally, you're going to see that whole 100. 40% is what you're going to put out and produce so everybody else can see it. But how many of y'all okay with that 40% that can be shown out to people? Wouldn't you love that 40% to be positivity? Wouldn't you love for that 40% to be peace? Wouldn't you love for that 40% to be success in any avenue of your life that you would want? Because the 60% is the work that it takes to get there. That's all the sleepless nights you have, the times when you cry yourself to sleep, the times when nobody knows what it is that you are particularly going through in life. That's the 60%. Are you okay with the 60% of the back end work and the 40% actually being the end result of what's seen? Because if you're a type of person that just wants to be seen, you want people to see the 100%, I'm going to tell you something, yo. Everybody not going to see the whole 100% of what you're talking about. Nobody will. Only you see that whole 100%. Only you see that whole 100%. And you need to know that. Because if you don't know that now, it's going to be a tough road for you to get there, people. It's going to be a tough road to get there. Learn to be okay with sacrifice. Learn to actually be okay with accepting the good, bad, and the ugly about yourself when it comes to your mental health and your success. It's okay. Nobody's telling you to be perfect. Nobody's telling you that you got to have it all together. But all Life Coach Jeff is asking is that you try. Just try. True story. I had one of my followers through Facebook go ahead and buy my book. She sent me a message. Had to work a day. She sent me a message early in the morning, like about 5:30 in the morning, and said to me, Jeff, I'm having a hard time really trying to keep my mind together. I'm having a hard time. Like everybody thinks and thinks I'm just this strong person, but I'm having a rough time here. And I'm not going to say her name on here. I just want to tell the story. And if you're listening, hey, look, girl, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you because you are taking steps to actually just navigate and accept those things in your life that you do and don't have control over. And that's commendable. So you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. But she sent me that message and we talked for a little bit. And she asked me if I had a podcast, anything to listen to. She follows me, but she doesn't comment on everything. So sometimes I get it. Sometimes through posts and other stuff, things can get lost in the sauce. But she asked me if I had a podcast. What did I do? I referred her to my podcast. And then I took it a step further. And I said, if you want some extra, I do have a book. I referred her to the book. And she just sent me a message today telling me that the book came a couple of days ago. And she was just thankful because it is something that's a stepping stone to help her. And just so y'all know, my book is a book of 20 quotes. It's Redirect, Shifting the Mindset. It's a book of 20 quotes of things that I've said, and it's an interactive workbook. So you can literally track your mental health. You can do it through 20 days. You can do it through 20 weeks. Or you can do it month to month. It's all up to you. But it has a daily checklist for you. It has a weekly check-in. So that way you can be in tune with your emotions while you're trying to shift your mindset on certain things. Because that's where it all begins. But I say that to say this. She was a woman. She's a person who has taken the time to assess where she is in life. Be okay about accepting those three things: that good, that bad, and that ugly. I'm sorry, y'all. That's just how the fingers came out. But those three things, the good, the bad, and the ugly, pertaining to herself. And she wants to make a move towards change. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you be successful, not just in business, but only in your personal life as well. That's how you do it. You have to be willing to accept those things about yourself that otherwise you will be scared to mention to people, scared to say, scared to do, because you're not going to please everybody. But why not strive to just please yourself? Why not? Why not strive to want to please yourself so you could do better for you? Why not strive to please yourself so you can be happy within your own heart, right? Why not strive to please yourself so you can achieve your own mental stability and have your own mental peace and not have to carry the burden of other people's drama and other people's mess? Learn to say no. Did a whole show on that. Power of no. Learn to say no. Learn to only take on things that are meaningful to you, right? Learn to only take on those things that will only bring you your own measured success, but not the success of anybody else, because that's what it takes, people. I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to give y'all some keys here, just a few keys. Ain't gotta be a lot, but I'm trying to give y'all a few keys. Because listen, one thing I do know, everybody is different. And since I know that everybody is different, there are certain things that you're going to have to accept about you. There are certain things that you're going to have to run with. And you all, that's life. So, I really hope that you all got something out of it. Today, I really hope that you all paid attention. And I hope that I hit on some points that can help you focus on your mental health in terms of business, being successful, just overall, just some things to look at. So don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till a few hours from now. Don't wait till a week, a month, or years. Start today by looking at your mental health and what you can do to finally achieve the stability you want in your life. All right, y'all. Remember, this is your boy, Life Coach Jeff. Remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. And I love y'all so much. Peace out. Thank you for listening and tuning in to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. We do thank you and appreciate and value you as a listener. Now, I would like to just throw in, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram as Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, and also Life Coach Jeff Relaford. You can also find me on Facebook as Jeff Relaford. That's my personal page. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I always put up some good inspirational content. And also the business page, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus on Facebook as well. So, all right, you all, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we will be here again. Remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. I love y'all.